What's up, witches and warlocks? Puma Fist here. This is going to be an unusual video today as well. I'm going to talk about something that's going to piss a lot of you off, and that's okay. You know why? Because I don't give a fuck. So what are we talking about today? Well, we're going to be talking about manga and anime, and why I think it's dog shit. Alright. Let me start off with, I know I'm going to get hit with a lot of this. Well, you just haven't seen this one, or you haven't read this one, and yada, 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 so on and so forth. You're just not looking at the right stuff. People are showing you the wrong stuff. Well, I've seen a bunch of this shit, right? People are constantly trying to get me into this crap. And the problem that I have with it is the problem that I have with all entertainment, is I can see through the bullshit. And some of the biggest bullshit I see with manga and anime stuff is, well, first of all the characters are pretty much androgynous. Now, their faces all look the same. Yeah, some of them will have big boobs or whatever. But other than that, the faces are all drawn the same. They're all cartoonishly childlike. They have these hyper expressive, faces and stuff like that. They're totally unnatural to convey emotion. And the emotions coming from the male and female characters are interchangeable. So it's completely androgynous. Now, I know people are going to be like, well, manga's not paused like Western comics. Yeah, okay. A friend of mine just, I was asking her about this, and she said the reason why people like manga is because they're not full of woke crap. Okay. I'll give you that to an extent, but technically it still is full of woke crap. And it's for the reasons I just explained. You have female characters that act like males, and you have male characters that act like females, right? So what's the difference if it's some LGBTQ message in a comic book, or they're just not giving it a name like they do in manga and just hitting you with this cross-dressing androgynous shit? They're constantly changing the gender roles in manga, the strong women's and the effeminate men. It's the same stuff. Story-wise, you know what? With a lot of Japanese shit, it's always been fucking weird. They're a weird bunch of motherfuckers to begin with, right? And their stories aren't linear. I also hear this too. Well, the stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay? That's wonderful, right? There's also a lot of Western stories that have beginning, middles, and ends. That's nothing new. But as far as the actual story writing goes with the Japanese stuff, yeah, it's just weird shit. It's like character A goes from this scenario to the next scenario, and there's really kind of no rhyme or reason for it. And yeah, there might be some sort of a conclusion to it, but it's a weird way they got there in the first place. It doesn't make any fucking sense. None of this shit makes any sense. Also, the problem I have with it, like comparing manga to fucking Western comics, is just like what happened with Western comics. The art style from all these artists has evolved into this generic what comics are supposed to look like now. We used to have great fucking varied comic book artists. Some of them were a little more cartoony, some of them were a little more realistic, some of them were a little more fluid, but they were all great in their own ways. Manga, anime, it's all the same shit. There's no variation. Now, I guess that's nice for uniformity's sake, but hey, I like a little variety. So I like to see which artist is the best, and I know I'm going to get hit with this too. Well, you're just not looking at this manga artist. To me, it all looks the fucking same. You're not going to convince me otherwise. It's all the same shit. Some of them might do a little more shading than others, but other than that, it's following the same crap. Even stuff like Akira and Ghost in the Shell, which when I saw Akira when I was a kid, I was like, wow, that's really cool looking. But it was the first time I had seen it compared to everything else. We had some of that shit leaking in. We had, kind of the anime style was kind of cropping into G.I. Joe, the cartoon, and like Thundercats, Silverhawks. I also watched Voltron and Robotech when I was a fucking kid, right? So I'd already been exposed to a little bit of that kind of stuff, but Akira looked totally different because they spent so much time on the animation. Akira looks really good, right? It's really fluid. But other than the fluidity of it, it's still just the same anime fucking style. There's no fucking difference. There's no fucking variance. Now, I know everybody's fucking favorite, Dragon Ball Z, is a little more cartoony, but it's still following the same shit. I don't like that. I don't like that there's no variation in it. Let's see. What else do I not like about manga? Well, I mean, the only thing I can say good about manga is that they sell their volumes like really cheaply. Now, granted, they're like doing black and white books, so they don't have to worry about the coloring. It's usually the same group of people that are working on a single book for a long period of time. That's also another good thing. You know, here with Western comics, they mix it up too much. You'll just have a short run of a couple of issues with this writer and this artist, and then they want to switch it up to something else. You don't just have somebody that's there for a long haul. So I guess that's good about manga, but like I said, what difference does it make? It all looks the fucking same. So, ta-da! There we are. I don't know. Hit me with some information, folks, about manga and anime that I didn't cover here. Tell me some of the reasons why you fucking like it in the comments, and I'll take your thoughts into consideration. But as far as my own personal feelings, I'm pretty steadfast in this. I've spent a lot of time, way too much time, trying to invest in this stuff because people keep telling me to. Go check this out, go check this out, go check this out, you know. And so I'll go look at it and I'll give it a shot. And by the end of it, or, you know, I'm just like, nah, it's all the same stuff. Oh, here, you hear that thunder in the distance? Yeah, God's angry at me for talking bad about manga. I guess I'll go ahead and wrap this up for now. Anyway, hit me with your comments. Puma Fist out.